Good afternoon, friends. In last lecture, I have discussed the evaluation of efficiency of the sterilization method. In that, we have seen or discussed the sterility of culture media. Next, we will see the next part of our syllabus, that is sterilization of fermentation air. In that, first sterilization of air, then second air sterilization by heat, then air sterilization by filtration, then depth filter. In sterilization of air, first that is air sterilization by heat, and second the air sterilization by filter, then second depth filters, then next point, that is sterilization criteria. First we will see the sterilization of fermentation air. In that, first the sterilization of air. In general, the industrial fermentation are carried out under a vigorous and continuous aeration. Yes, what I am saying, see here. In general, the industrial fermentation are carried out under the vigorous and continuous aeration. That is, so what is important, that is continuous aeration. For effective fermentation, the air should be completely sterile and free from all microorganisms and suspended particles. Yes, it should be free from or completely sterile or free from all type of microorganisms and suspended particles. There is a wide variation in the quantity of suspended particles and the microbes in the atmospheric outdoor air. Then next, the microorganism may be ranges from 10 to 2000, while the suspended particles is 20 to 1 lakh among the microorganisms which are present in the air. Then the fungal spores, that is 50%, and the germ negative bacteria, that is 40%, are dominant. Then air or other gases can be sterilized. Then the air or the other gases, it can be sterilized by the method of filtration or by the method of heat, then by the method of UV radiation or the gas scrubbing. Among these, heat and filtration are mostly commonly method. From these methods, the most commonly used method, that is heat and filtration. First, air sterilization by heat. In the early years, air was passed over a electrically heated element and sterilized. Yes, in earlier years, air was passed over a electrically heated element and sterilized. But this is quite expensive or expense. Hence, this method is not used today these days. Next, air sterilization by filtration. In that, the filtration of air is the most commonly used sterilization in fermentation industries. Then next, that is depth filters. When air is passed through this gas hole, when the air is passed through the glass wool containing depth filter, the particles are trapped and removed. Yes, what I am saying, see here. When the air is passed through this glass wool containing a depth filter, the particles are trapped and removed. Then this filtration technique primarily involves the physical effects, for example, such as inertia, then blocking, then gravity, electrostatic attraction and diffusion. Yes, this filtration technique, it involves the physical effects such as inertia, blocking, then gravity, then electrostatic attraction and diffusion. Then the glass wool filters can be subjected to steam sterilization and it is reused. Yes, the glass wool filters can be subjected to steam sterilization and it is reused, but there is a limitation in their reuse. See here, but there is limitation for reuse. So what is limitation? Since the glass wool shrink and solidified on steam sterilization. So what is limitation for this? For reuse, that is the glass wool, it shrinks and solidifies on the steam sterilization. In recent years, the glass fibers filters and cartridge. It means that do not have the limitations of glass wool filter. I am repeating in recent year the glass fiber filters cartridges. It means that do not have the limitations of glass wool. Therefore, these are used. That is membrane cartridge filter. So what are those filters? These are removable pleated membrane filter which are made up of cellulose ester, nylon or polysulfone. Yes, these filters are made up of cellulose ester or nylon or polysulfone. Then these filters are smaller in size and simple for operation and also replacement. Yes, these filters are smaller in size. Second thing, that is simple, and third, simple for operation as well as replacement. Then the most important limitations of this air sterilization is that there is no filter that can remove the bacteriophages. Yes, most important limitations for this, that is there is no filter that can remove the bacteriophages. Then bacteriophages are capable of crippling the industrial fermentation. For example, the bacteriophages interferes in the production of glutamic acid by Corynebacterium glutamicum. Yes, for example, that is the bacteriophages that interferes in the production of glutamic acid by Corynebacterium glutamicum. So this is all about the sterilization of fermentation air. Next, that is sterilization of criteria. In that, first the bioburden, and second thing sensitivity of microorganism, and third data rate or the survivor curve. There are three things in sterilization of criteria. First, that is bioburden. Second, sensitivity of microorganism, and third, that is death rates or the survivor of curve. First, the bioburden. It is necessary to know the initial number of microorganisms present in the given products or the associated with the given material of selection of parameter for any method intended to kill the microorganisms. This initial number is called as bioburden or the bioload. Yes, here what I am saying, it is necessary to know what is important, the initial number of microorganisms which are present in given products or the associated with given material for the selection of parameters for any method intended to kill microorganism. This initial number is called as or is known as bioburden or the bioload. Next, we'll see the example for this. Example, it has been the practice to choose the time and temperature relationship for steam sterilization to temperature chosen, such as the steam sterilization process is also greatly in excess of the treatment necessary to kill the small number of heat sensitive contaminant like to be present in the pharmaceutical solutions. Next, that is sensitivity of microorganism. The microorganism shows their varying degree of resistance to a heat, to radiation, and to the chemicals. The vegetative form of bacteria and fungi are the most sensitive. Yes, what is important? See here, the vegetative form of bacteria and as well as fungus are most sensitive. They are about 100 to 1000 times more sensitive. It means the bacteria and fungi are 100 to 1000 times more sensitive to ionization and UV radiation than the bacterial spores. The thermophilic bacteria, smaller viruses and mold spores are killed at a temperature range between 10 to 90 degrees Celsius, and while the bacterial spores, it may be destroyed at 90 to 120 degrees Celsius temperature. See here, what is temperature range for killing the bacteria, that is thermophilic bacteria, small viruses and molded pores are killed at a temperature range in between 10 to 90 degrees Celsius. And for bacterial spores, it may be destroyed at temperature range that is 90 to 120 degrees Celsius. Then ideally the sterilizing treatment to be used should be decided for each specific load with prior knowledge of the type and the number of contaminating microorganisms present. Then this is indeed the situation for official sterilization methods, which must be capable of general application and the modern pharmacopoeial recommendations, which are derived from a careful analysis of experimental data on a bacterial spores survival following treatment with heat ionization or the heat ionization radiation or the gas. Then death rates or the survivor curves. A death is a microbial population is determined by, yes, death is what it is. A death in a microbial population is determined by assessing the reduction in the number of viable microorganisms resulting from contact with given destructive force. This can be represented graphically with the survivor curve and drawn from the plot of logarithm of fraction of survivors against or the versus exposure time or the dose. Yes, surviving fraction of the dose. The death of population of cell exposed to heat, then cell exposed to radiation or the cell exposed to toxic chemicals is often found to be it follows the first order kinetic. Then there are two different terms that are used for expression of resistance. First, that is D value, and second Z value. So what is D value? D value, or it is also called as decimal reduction time, and Z value, it is thermal destruction time. First we will see the D value or the decimal reduction time. It is the time in minutes at any defined temperature to destroy the 90% of viable organisms. It is the time in minute at any defined temperature to destroy the 90% of viable microorganism is called as D value, and it is usually subscript showing the temperature at which it was measured, that is D value, that is 115 degrees Celsius or the 121 degrees Celsius. It is the one of the function to indicate the efficiency of sterilization process. Yes, it is the one of the function to indicate the efficiency of the sterilization process. Next, Z value or the thermal destruction time. So what is Z value? Z value is the number of degree of temperature changes required to produce 10-fold changes in D value, or this rates the heat resistance of microorganism to change in the temperature. Then the bacterial spores have Z value in the range of 10 to 15 degrees Celsius, and while the non-sporing organism having the Z value, that is 4 to 6 degrees Celsius. The Z value for sporing organism, it is in the range of 10 to 15 degrees Celsius, and Z value for non-sporing microorganism, it is in the range of 4 to 6 degrees Celsius. Next, that is F value, then Q10 value and inactivation factor. So what is F value? In the food industry, the unit of lethality it has been devised is called as F value, and this has been defined as the equivalent in minutes of 121 degrees Celsius of all heat considered with respect to its capacity to destroy the spores or the vegetative cells of particular organisms. This f value can be calculated by using formula, that is f is equal to d in bracket log n0 minus log n. So what is d? D is the d value at 121 degrees Celsius of the organism. So what is n0? It is the initial population number in unit volume, and n is n, it means, or n is equal to final population number. Then next, that is Q10 value or the temperature coefficient. Yes, what is it? It is the increase in the reaction or the killing rate brought about a rise in temperature, that is rise in temperature of 10 degrees Celsius. So what is formula for this? Q10 is equal to Kt plus 10 divided by Kt. These values are approximately 14 for moist heat process, 4 for dry heat, and 2 for many chemical changes. I am repeating here, these values approximately 14 for moist heat process, then 4 for dry heat process, and 2 for many chemical changes. And these Q10 values employed more frequently for chemical disinfection than for heat sterilization. Then this also gives a measure of the relative resistance of different microorganisms, and it describes the change in death rate or the 100 degrees Celsius change in temperature. And last, that is inactivation factor. So it is the degree to which the viable population of organism is reduced. It is the degree to which the viable population of organism is reduced by the treatment applied, and it is obtained by dividing the initial viable count with final viable count. And this can be expressed in terms of d value for the organism, that is if, that is, so what is if? That is inactivation factor. If is equal to 10 raised to t divided by d. So what is t? It is the holding time. The t is equal to what? The t is equal to holding time at sterilizing temperature, and d is equal to d value for marker organism at the temperature. It means what? T is holding time at sterilizing temperature, and d, it is d value for marker organism at the temperature. So this is the simplest method to calculate the probability of achieving sterility of or the sterility for any given initial survival level. So this is all about the large scale sterilization. Here our unit second is completed. Next part or next unit we will see in, or we will start in next lecture.